Now, on BBC1, the main lunchtime news at 1 o'clock with John Humphreys.
Their first meal in freedom for the couple kidnapped by Kurdish guerrillas.
It's a nightmare. Couldn't believe it, being taken hostage.
Good afternoon. The British man and his Australian cousin who've been held captive in Turkey have been set free and they're on their way home. This morning's other headlines: the condition of the little girl from Sarajevo has got worse. In Bosnia, the Serbs say we're moving off the mountains. The Muslims say it's a trick. Police women will carry guns in Northern Ireland. And the glorious 12th tomorrow, but there aren't enough grouse for the guns. For more than a month, the British man David Rowbottom and his Australian cousin Tanya Millen had been held captive by Kurdish guerrillas in eastern Turkey. Last night, their captors set them free, and now they're on their way home. Their families said they were overjoyed. They said it was the end of a nightmare.
On their first morning of freedom, after more than a month as hostages, David Rowbottom and Tanya Miller enjoyed a very public breakfast, chatting brightly to journalists who'd gathered to meet them in the eastern Turkish town of Gorumak and to their relatives on the telephone.
Mum! I'm free! Yeah, I'm fine. We're both all right, yeah. Couldn't believe it, being taken hostage.
Every day it's been tomorrow you'll be released, tomorrow you'll be released, and that was really annoyed us. But now, who cares? It's all over, and it's just a major relief.
David Rowbottom's family held their celebratory press conference at his parents' home in Stockport in Cheshire. Relieved though they were at the news, they had been confident that provided their captors did not ill-treat the pair, their youth and fitness would carry them through.
They're fairly tough mentally and physically, so I expect them to come through this ordeal fairly well. They've obviously lost weight, they've not been eating particularly well, and they've had food poisoning, which has added to the troubles, so that accounts for the weight loss. But they seem to be bearing up okay.
The Kurdistan Workers' Party guerrillas who captured them permitted visiting journalists to film them in captivity, hoping to exert pressure on the Turkish government to cease its military drive against them. The two were not ill-treated, though living in the mountains and being forced to walk many miles was an ordeal. There were plans to make their release a public event, supervised by some international agency, but as soon as it became clear that their demands would not be met, the guerrillas abandoned them on a deserted road, leaving them to walk for 3 hours before hitching a lift and reaching a police roadblock. The British Embassy in Ankara has issued another warning to tourists to stay away from southeastern Turkey, where the Kurdish struggle for independence from Turkey has killed thousands, and tourists from several nations have been taken hostage.
The PKK have asked anyone who wished to travel into the area that they should sort of permission before they go to the area, and because obviously there's a war situation here, they don't want any tourists to be hurt.
David Rowbottom and Tanya Miller are now in Ankara, where medical checks will decide how soon they can board a plane for England. Michael Sullivan, BBC News.
There is growing concern for the health of Irma Hadjimuratovic. Doctors at Great Ormond Street Hospital say the condition of the little girl worsened during the night. She now has severe meningitis. Her father today thanked Britain for helping Irma, but he also warned that without intervention from the West, many more children would be killed or injured in Sarajevo. It's understood that in a statement this afternoon, John Major will announce that up to 20 children will be brought out of the city.
Irma remains unaware of the tide of public support for her, reflected in the number of letters and cards which continue to arrive at Great Ormond Street Hospital.
I desperately pray that you will get better and you will go on and enjoy a happy and peaceful life with your family.
Have faith. You're in excellent hands. Our prayers are with you.
The 5-year-old remains unconscious. Her condition is causing concern, and doctors say it won't be improved by further surgery at the moment.
Overnight, there has been a marked deterioration in Irma's condition. She's requiring drugs to support her heart, and she underwent an emergency scan, which confirmed that further spinal surgery would not be helpful at this stage. It shows abnormalities associated with her severe meningitis.
Within the last hour, Irma's father, Ramiz, who travelled from Sarajevo with his other daughter, 3-year-old Medina, has publicly thanked Britain, the Prime Minister and the BBC, which he says was the first media organisation to take an interest in Irma's plight. My Sarajevo is a big concentration camp, he said, and unless the world intervenes, more youngsters like Irma will be injured and killed. The hopeless situation that Irma faced in Sarajevo before she was airlifted out, in a hospital without water, power or medicine, is, according to the UN, shared by at least 41 critically in need of treatment. Britain and the UN are continuing talks today to evacuate more. 50 hospital beds in Britain have already been offered, but presently this country lags far behind some others. So far, France has taken 96 wounded. 57 have gone to Germany, 19 to America, 7 to Italy, and 1, Irma, to Britain. The UN says it's ready to evacuate more as soon as governments can agree.